Hello, welcome once again to another film review video. This one is fairly hot off the presses in terms of this raid only happened 2 days ago, but anyway, I guess it's kind of top of mind, hence kind of wanting to make the video for it. I don't think that I've made one for a healer in quite some time, so that's also good. Yeah, so this was the, as Jan said, the cursed raid, which featured 3.5 quite heavily. I think anybody that was there knows that it was difficult, or fighting 3.5 is always difficult, and having 999 ping certainly doesn't help either. That said, the ping didn't really become a problem until a good ways into this fight, so yeah, that clearly wasn't the only thing that was going on that was getting us into trouble. This is from the Nightblade healer point of view, and kind of the main topic of interest that I want to kind of address here is something that you'll notice that we didn't get a lot of in this particular raid, at least when we were fighting against 3.5, and that would be getting clutch reactive barriers when we get stacked. You will see that I get blown up infinite number of times in this video because I think I had an icon over my head and they were stacking me, and nobody was really casting barriers on those stacks that I got trapped up in, and so, yep, getting popped. It also didn't help that we didn't have our warden, so everybody's health pools were significantly less than they should have been, but that is what that is, and while that isn't ideal, it also, isn't the sole reason why we were losing people in stacks. So basically this video is just like the kind of purpose is to analyze some of these incoming stacks against, like another, well, one of the best, literally one of the best PvP guilds on PCNA, and how they were kind of exploiting our lack of barriers to get us. And then maybe we'll see. I haven't really watched to see what they were doing, but probably on the other side you'll see 3.5 getting those clutch reactive barriers to those times that Stratus stacked them. That is often what gives rise to that "how can they eat so much damage" comment, and it's like, well, they had healers that had their barriers ready and they cast them real fast in reaction to an incoming stack, and you get one or two healers buffering everybody's health pool when they get stacked with 20 to 25k barrier, then that's just too much damage for even several DDs with coordinated burst to chew through. So that's what's going on. Basically, like, getting those barriers and that reactive burst healing to the stacks is what allows your group to have that sense of immortality. So anyway, let's start the video. Set the scene. We're here, I think almost to Ailes. I think that's where we are. We're between Glade and Ailes, and we're about to stumble upon 3.5. We didn't know they were even on the map because they're not typically in Blackreach, but it was a pleasant surprise because while, we don't exactly dunk on 3.5, in the past we've, maybe 2-1, 2 for them, 1 to us, in terms of casualties when they fought them. And so, like, it's always good to fight groups that are, stronger than you are, because that's how you learn. So it's always good to see 3.5.
EP in the front. Careful, careful, careful. This is 3.5 here, actually. Split, split, split. Procs in 3, 2, 1, procs.
You can see we've got a little, this is just the Arcanist shield that's on me. I don't use any, like, UI mods, right? So the small little outline, I know it's a little bit hard to see here, the zillionth time that I should stop using the Windows Media Player. You can see that I just have a small shield on me right now. When I actually get a barrier, you'll see that there's a lot more kind of white area.
Alright, here we go, GBG. Stacking them in 3, 2, 1, now.
So, yeah, so we got a barrier. It was probably whomever was playing Sork casting to give us major force on our attack here.
Left? No.
You can see though that 3.5 also had their proxies go off. It hit 3 players, but since they had the barrier up on them, you know, what might have been potentially damage enough to pop someone ended up not. So in that instance, the kind of the preliminary barrier by the Sork ended up potentially saving lives here.
I'll hold your ults. We'll do.
You can see my siphon.
Prox in 3.
I'm talking about barrier, but it's ironic that I'm not even on a build that's using barrier. But casting siphon, you know, it's the exact same scenario of you want to cast that when there's a stack because you want basically if you have players on your team that are stacked, they're probably going to take some damage before a healer's able to get a barrier off. And so the combination of the strong backfilling of health with the siphon and then the shield on top of it that gives it that room to backfill the health pool, that's what you want to get everybody back to 100% HP.
1 proc. Stacking 4. 3, 2,
Yeah, so we can see that there's no barrier currently on me.
1 now, right on me.
Can see that there still is not.
That's early.
The gate.
There's my siphon. It looks like somebody did get their barrier off, but this is again, nobody's been stacked. That's just kind of like a preemptive kind of safety barrier. It might not even necessarily be intentional to this particular moment. Currently, a lot of our healers just kind of cast them on cooldown, which is the advice that we've given them, you know, heretofore. But in a GVG, that's often, you know, not the best policy because you want them in response to concrete actual circumstances and not just casting it because you have it.
Splitting now. Procs in 3, 2, 1. Procs.
You can see, have another barrier. It's probably part of somebody's rotation.
Back in 3, 2, 1. Now.
So Stratus stacks and we get stacked. I believe that 3.5 was using a DK, using DK chains to stack, and then they were dropping their standard right on the stack that they created, which ended up being a fairly dirty combination. I feel like DK stacker is uncommon, so it was interesting. Anyway, I do
Middle.
have a barrier on me, but this is a scenario where group members had a barrier. We need more barriers here. Like, this is a huge problem right here. This is 50% HP. That's into execute. You know, I'm at 75% HP. Other group members, the bars are wavering. Like, this is, like, not every healer was stacked in that stack here. This is where you need healers that, I don't know who this is, but this is like would have been good healer positioning. You're playing off of the stack to run in, cast a barrier, hit everybody, and then back out while pumping the stack with your burst heals. I think people are going to die here. In fact, I think I might even die here. I'm not sure. That might occur in like 30 seconds from now.
Big healing. Proc.
Yeah, so we did take some losses. Gustavo could have been saved with another barrier.
In 3.
We see one. It came in too late. It's just one of the, I mean, any individual healer, it's not realistic to expect you to like have perfect response to an incoming stack, but we play with 7 healers, and it's not an unreasonable expectation that one of those 7 healers should be able to squeeze in a barrier there more quickly in response to an incoming stack.
2, 1. Procs. Trying to get a necro on Gustav there. Stacking them in 3.
So my barrier has now been eaten up.
2, 1 now. Break.
Group is taking damage, so there's a siphon. There's a barrier that somebody cast preemptively. That's just part of the rotation though. There's a Nova.
Leave it.
That is not
Procs,
ours. There's another barrier that I think somebody cast in response to that Nova. I definitely don't know.
In 3, 2, 1. Procs. Who's our necro?
Actually, maybe that was our Nova. I think that was ours.
That one's on necro. Stack.
Anyway, you can see like people are taking big damage here. We need another barrier for those health bars.
Game 3, 2, 1, now. Next one we'll go with our alts here, Kermit, and just see what we can land.
Okay.
Procs in 3, 2, 1, procs. Stacking 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, this is what I was waiting for here. So, yeah, you can see that I basically get one shot in the span of 1 second. I don't even know if I get stacked here.
Procs in 3, 2, 1, procs.
I do not have a
Stacking
barrier
3,
on me.
2.
Okay, so there is a stack, and then their damage is just very imminent right here. I think that last time that I paused was at 127, and my health was almost dead, and this is at 126, so I suppose these must be the DDs. They're facing this way. Unfortunately, I think I roll dodged to the left, which kept me still within the hitboxes of a bunch of their abilities. But so Gustavo's been dead. We have like people over here, people over here. Not sure exactly, just from looking who all is stacked here. It could be that this is several of us healers.
1.
But you can see that while it would have required like very fast reaction, considering like there was probably 1 second at the most between this stack forming and when people start dying, you know, it is possible to get your barrier in there, ... You know, if you're analyzing the flow of battle, right? Like, stacks don't typically just occur randomly out of the blue. Like, they're predictable things. Like, you know, generally speaking, when a ball group is looking to attack. You know when they're not looking to attack. That's precisely why rolling barriers on a cooldown doesn't make sense against a ball group, because, you know, you're in danger for maybe 2 to 4 to maybe 5 at the longest seconds after an incoming stack occurs, but literally the entire rest of the time you're taking like no damage, at least from like a disciplined like 3.5 is ball group. So like casting your barriers out in the open field when we're not taking damage like is a waste of a barrier in this context. You know, even in a situation where we have like a different type of inefficient use of barriers, where like say this stack occurred and we had 4 healers all cast their barriers on the same stack, I mean, so be it. That would guarantee that the people here alive survive and live to fight another day. And like, yeah, maybe you could have gotten these people to survive with only say 2 barriers rather than 4. But again, like, we have strong ult gen in the raid and we have 7 healers, so even wasting quote unquote more barriers than necessary on something like this, like, it doesn't matter. Like, save the people, take the bird in the hand, as they say. Like, that's the right saying. But anyway, yeah, we can see here, and another thing that would have been helpful would have been to have like a preemptive barrier going on here, which we obviously didn't. So everybody started taking damage directly to their health bars instead of having, you know, 20 to 25k of a shield that, you know, would have at least absorbed, you know, say the proxy damage from other people. You still have to worry about DB and Shulk's damage though.
Now,
So
we're in the middle.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't even, you know, if you watch our videos, this tends to happen. Like, somehow other people survive that, even though we were all together.
Everything you got. The gates.
But yeah, you can see that this is just perfectly timed. There isn't even an ult on this. It's just a bunch of crits from subs, at least.
Negate.
We gotta go west. Move west. See if we can put a camp over here.
This is supremely annoying. I think James
Split wide, split wide,
comes
split
and
wide.
hooks it up with
Camps
a
up, camps up, camps
res.
up. Procs in 3, 2, 1.
I know,
Procs.
that happens
Move
later.
into them. Go east, go east. Stacking 3, 2, 1 now.
Okay, so here's another stack. We have a barrier here, but an outgoing stack very frequently turns into an incoming stack, as one of the best times to attack a group is in a counterattack to when they've attacked you.
Oh, that was a good stack.
Which you can see is exactly what happens here. People's health bars start going crazy, and I think I get my siphon off here.
Hit it, hit it, hit it. Split wide, 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 wide. Keep rolling the barriers.
So
remember on ball group,
soul siphon saves lives.
A duty, like when we're kiting away like this, we're not really taking much damage, right? So we're kind of saving our ults in this situation.
There's Stratus mild-manneredly attempting to explain
barriers defensively, splitting wide. They're pushing out.
The purpose of this video, another attack. 3.5 is very aggressive, and you can see that with their like supreme command of their Warden, you know, Shulk's proxies DB combo. They're not one of those groups that needs to like kite, destro dump, you know, like they can use cheap ultimates, you know, recyclable damage and procs and subs. You know, this is the way that we, you know, aspire to play, right? The way that we do play against, you know, most groups, ones that don't pressure us quite as much as 3.5 does when things begin to break down a little bit. But yeah, they can, as you saw from my last death recap, they can kill you with no ultimates at all. So you have to be very much on your toes versus more predictable groups that, like in the ult dump group style.
This way. But then on the pushes, either us attacking or vice versa, then that's where we need it. Procs in 3, 2, 1, procs. Stacking them 3.
Oh yeah. So this is that unfortunate situation where we have other DC friendlies, which like we know they're trying to help, but in this type of a situation, ungrouped players are just like 100% liability to us, and I'm fairly sure that whomever's in that stack, yeah, James just got procced by all those other DC that randomly showed up. You can see my siphon going off, but it's like 1 second too late.
No, don't stack.
3.5, their health bars actually kind of wavered there, but presumably they got their own barrier, or somebody cast a siphon.
Changed my mind. Okay, take the res, take the res, take the res.
Who is this other?
Oh, move east, move east, move east, move east.
This might be LG following us or something.
Yeah, we don't want this. They're gonna proc us.
Oh. Yeah, move
coming
east
in for another attack.
Come east, come east, come east. Keep going east, actually, further east. So
this one was like, there are so many WTF deaths in this. I was like so triggered. So I'm at like half health and should be well clear of kind of the point of impact here, but I'm fairly sure I die. Again, this is a scenario, like we saw them over here, we saw them light their procs, like we knew this damage was about to happen, but we didn't have a barrier going into it, and then
break.
We don't have a barrier. I have no words. Looks like people are surviving here, so somebody got a barrier off, but like, yeah, for whatever reason, even though I was furthest away from all of the damage, I was the one person who died.
Procs in 3, 2, 1, procs. No ult, stacking 3, 2, 1 now.
So there's another, they stacked, Stratus stacked them, they stacked Stratus. I don't think people die here, but again, it's like,
boy, we gotta
extremely
make sure.
dicey, and those barriers like came in only at the very last second, like to save. You could see when the Lamia's barrier went off is when there's like that swirl.
The next one is gonna be with.
hey Windows Media Player.
Okay.
Anyway,
The
well, we can all remember that
next one
happened.
is going to be with
It was very late reaction
Alt, I
to
think.
that stack.
I didn't
Here I come up and immediately get waxed.
put that down.
No. Oh, it's okay. I know.
Dude.
I'm just saying, in future when I do call the alts, let's try to get alts, offensive alts
Fairly
means also
sure
negate
that
procs in
I
3,
ate some
T1
VD
proc.
from
This one
those
with full alts,
ungrouped
full alts.
DC.
Everything you got in 4, 3, T1 and negate in the
So, we do have a barrier.
middle.
Someone
No,
should
no, no,
cast
no.
Middle.
it. It's another one of those like
Push them.
I don't really know. I think there might be 2 negates here. One of them was Mongo's, but that Nova came down. I don't know if Stratus hit it or if there's like another negate over here that absorbed it. Whoa, no, actually. The Earth Gore absorbed it? I don't know.
Push them. Procs in 3. Split.
In any event,
T1
it
procs.
didn't do anything.
Stacking 3.
So you can see here now I'm like very much trying to play away from the rest of the group because I'm frankly done with dying in these random stacks.
Between the trees. T1 now.
That was like a pro siphon.
Procs in 3. T1 procs. Going to the east. Stacking 3. T1 now.
Have a barrier. I think this is maybe James casting it.
Split.
There's my siphon. That
Split wide,
combination
wide.
keeps people
Get off
alive.
the
Have another
stack.
barrier
Procs
on
in
us.
3.
This is good.
T1 procs. Keep moving with them. Stacking 4. 3. T1 now. Following them still. Procs in 3. T1 proc. Back at the bottom in 3.
So that was a very dangerous situation. We got a big stack with a lot of the group, plus again we have this second group of DC that were stacked with us and ready to proc us. I don't know if that was like a defensive stack by 3.5 as they went through this choke point or what. This entire moment I thought was super sketchy because we basically ran through this crazy beautiful choke, but 3.5 didn't punish us for it. I don't know exactly why. Maybe because they used their stack back here and didn't have it ready to go, but even without a stack they could have just pushed back through here with subs and proxies. But yeah, I would say that on my observations here we have decent barrier coverage going into attacks that are called by Stratus. Like people are generally getting a barrier on us as we go to stack 3.5. The thing that breaks down is that we don't have stacks in reaction to when we get stacked subsequently.
T1 now.
It's another
Push down. Keep going down.
3.5
Northeast.
Earth Gore going off. See, that is like, you could not pay me to run through that choke point right here. That's a nasty
Falling.
choke.
Split to the sides. Get out quickly. They reprod.
But they just let us go through. Very strange.
They're pushing
Very
in. They're
lucky.
pushing here. Get out. Wide. Procs in 3. T1 procs. Hit them right after this bomb goes off. Ults in 3.
No barrier coverage.
T1. Everything on them now. Oh,
Still no barrier coverage. This is kind of sus.
Negate.
Damn
Damn
it. Hit them. Follow. Splitting out.
On me.
Not sure exactly what was going on here. I don't have a barrier. Chances are nobody in here has a barrier.
Procs in 3.
Someone got one off for just then. But that was still like, if 3.5 had a little bit more burst, they could have popped 3 people right there.
1 procs. Man, they're taking a ton of pressure and just killing like crazy on this. Stacking 3. T1 now. Pretty far. Split.
I was actually, I mean, like 3.5 is a really great group. So like, definitely like no shade or anything like that. They've got great healers and everything. Like you can tell when a ball group is really like a good group when they can maintain like a tightly balled up formation in GVG situations, because they're just like not afraid of getting stacked by you. And so you can see that they retain their shape for throughout basically the entirety of this fight, whereas we like break apart and split because we begin to become, you know, rightly so, afraid of getting stacked by 3.5. But what I was going to say is that like Stratus expresses like, you know, amazement at their ability to heal through this, and you know, that's true, but they're basically just doing what we're talking about in this video, except like they're successfully doing it, of getting the reactive healing, the reactive barriers when they get stacked. But then the other thing is just like in our damage combos, like I haven't seen, like we weren't doing a very good job of actually syncing up our own damage. I don't know what ultimates were being run, not Destros, so I think DBs, because I haven't seen the Destro cloud. But the key thing is that like we have had basically no negates on 3.5 during any of these attacks, and when you're fighting against a group that's that good, like their healers will always, you know, burst heal and get a barrier off in response to a stack. So unless those healers are negated or were stacked originally and feared, like they're going to get the barrier off, and there's, you know, at that point without the negate, there's like no real point to even attacking them, because the chances of getting a kill are like literally 0, and it's just, you know, it puts us in a compromised position for a counterattack. But you know, at the same time, we don't want to just like run from the fight. But it is really, it's like without the negate, like none of these attacks really matter. And right around here is when the ping starts to become a problem, and so like the entire idea of getting a clutch negate or something kind of goes out the window, because you know, it's not so bad here, but later on when the ping goes to 999 and people can't bar swap and like skills are on a 5-second delay, like you're playing from you know, Antarctica or freaking Jupiter or something, that you know, the idea of like reactive play kind of breaks down completely. But that's still not the case here.
Glide. Go east, go east.
Oh,
Procs in 3, 2, 1. Procs. Pushing up the hill.
I think that my last 2 siphons could have been used at better times, but part of that is hindsight
Is
is
that
2020.
bomb in there? Just leave it for a second.
There, you can see the game freeze right there.
Plus Nico.
You can tell the ping, or you can
Yeah,
tell the
it looks like
server is
Nico.
beginning to choke on
Yeah.
itself.
There's a bunch of other people too, I think.
Because we have 3.5 us, and then
And
this
JJ
other
been
DC
probably
group, plus
crashed.
seemingly a bunch of other pugs.
Yeah. Let's head over towards where Jay is actually.
So now we're gonna,
Where's
yeah,
3.5? Oh, here.
James crashed, we get him back,
Alrighty.
get back into the fight.
Procs in 3, 2, 1. Proc. Backing 3, 2, 1 now. Left side. Splitting. Split. Wide. Procs in 3.
Yeah, so you can see them like basically waiting for Stratus to do a stack and then stacking Stratus in response. It didn't really look like that was a part of a meaningful attack by them, but it was just kind of like a defensive mechanism to bust up like the coordination of our DDs.
T1. Proc.
Actually, are they using mech acuity? I don't know. They look a little bit transparent. Could probably just find that out in the log, but they seem to attack more quickly than the mech acuity cooldown is.
Backing them 3, 2, 1 now. Split wide. Get out. Wide. One person.
Uh-oh.
Again, my siphon is down because it was clear that they were coming in on an attack. So I don't know if we're going to lose people here, but this is another situation where we need that barrier. I don't know where. This is like half the group on my screen right now. I don't know where the other half is. Gustavo's dead. But like healers need to be playing out here, running in, casting their barrier, running back out.
Only one person go for res out wide, wide, wide. Nice.
Had to blow
Suppose.
my
That's good.
negate
proc-
to get out of it.
I think that was just burst healing that saved those people. I don't think it was a barrier. I think the
Procs
barrier came
in
in later.
D1 proc.
Oh god, this is huge problems here. I could tell that the attack was coming. Tried to roll dodge out of it. Still got sucked in. Yeah, some of the problems with this first part of the fight were self-inflicted because I didn't have any immovables on this character. Wah, wah, wah. So I'm using just like basic alliance pots here, and so like under normal circumstances I would have popped my move here to get out of here and would never have been pulled back here, but is what it is. After this fight I go and make some pots. So no barrier. Still no barrier. Fairly sure I'm about to die here.
Oof.
Yeah, we took big casualties
Oh,
there.
that was not good.
Yeah,
We
so
need these green bars away from us.
Yeah.
Gustav got procced. I just got procced for 20k.
yeah, when you take that kind of proc damage, it's hard. Even like that proc damage basically equates to one entire barrier, but the fact that we never had those barriers to begin with, nobody had a chance after they got stacked there.
Oh yeah,
There.
they're here. No ult yet. Procs in 3, D1 procs.
So we have
Split through them,
preemptive
go through
barrier. Here's the stack. Get the Dawnbreaker party here. Yeah, okay, so this one is like a super scandalous like breakdown of our barrier casting. So we did have a barrier going into this fight, but big stack here, lots of people in the group got caught up into it. They all ult dump. It's like kind of weird that they're in like a circle. Like where healers like what Russian air defense doing, like and you'll see it gets even more flagrant. Like I'm gonna dodge roll out or something and like be at very low health, and it's just like waiting for any healing or any barrier to come in, and then just like it never does.
Stacking.
So like you get this far out of a stack, like you shouldn't die. Someone needs to hook it up with a barrier here.
Back in 3.
Like the stack is over here, I'm dying over here. Here's Alan, he's burst healing. You'll see it come down here, and I think use my corpse to do the secondary effect on other people. But yeah, this is just like egregious what happened here.
D1 right in the
And the
middle.
lack of barriers.
Oh.
Split wide. Wide, wide, wide. Procs in 3, D1,
So let me see if we can just watch that again.
D1 procs.
So here we go.
Split through.
We have the incoming barrier, or we have the preemptive
Then
barrier.
go through them.
There's the stack. You could see I was trying to cast my siphon, but got interrupted halfway through the animation, which is supremely annoying. It's another one of those things. If I had my immovable, that wouldn't happen either, but it is what it is. Dalinar is here in the stack. I'm here in the stack. That's 2 healers that are accounted for within the stack. You can see, we observed it while we were fighting them, they basically don't use an offensive negate. They might have a defensive negate, but like, I mean, again, supreme confidence that you can just roll other groups without even using a negate, so respect to 3.5. But again, the huge ult dump.
Stacking.
Where are the healers? What are they doing?
Back.
What are you
in 3,
doing?
D1 right in the middle.
Yeah,
Oh.
that is so bad.
Split wide. Wide, wide, wide. Procs in 3, D1 procs. Push down the path towards them. Full ult on this push in 3, D1 now, right in the middle, right in the middle. Barriers, and negates. Everything,
My
everything
negate.
here, everything here, everything here. And moved up.
Yeah, you can see I'm like tapped out of mag due to just being recently resurrected there, but I got my siphon off, which probably helped keep some of those folks alive.
The path, northwest, up the path. Northwest. Procs in
Ah.
3, T1 procs. Back to them. Stacking in 2. 1 right here, same place. On the wood, on the logs. splitting one.
That was an instance where I was expecting them to counter stack him, or to counter stack Stratus, but it didn't happen, so my Siphon ended up not really doing
Alright, let's
very much.
go up the path, northwest, northwest. Procs in 3, 2, 1. Procs split wide, 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 wide. Roll dodge. Or block. Come up the path a little higher, stacking T.
Also, apologies, there's like other stuff going on in this video that it would especially be helpful for people who are actually wanting to play the Nightblade that I'm just not even commenting on, in favor of just like looking at our barriers. But you can see, I guess I'll talk about that a little bit right now. So, you know, wearing transmutation, you have to be like basically the master of the heals over time. So whenever there's a stack by us, I'm throwing down the illustrious healing from range and then layering the refreshing path on top of it, so that anybody on the stack is gonna get a tick of, you know, those hots, and ideally proc the transmutation in time for any incoming damage. When we do have a stack, my kind of priority will be hit a Siphon if available. If not, I will try to throw down at least the illustrious healing on the stack to begin proccing transmutation on people, and then try to burst heal them. But yeah, so that's why you see me casting lots of hots. I think I need to change my Mundus on this character because I had like almost too much stamina, and you know, I could have used more mag.
1. Now behind us.
So we do have a barrier on us.
On the hill. Man, like, it's not even touching their health bars.
Yeah, it's like it's not touching their health bars because we haven't gotten a negate down on them, and our DDs haven't been synchronized in dealing their damage. That's kind of we need to look at ourselves before we, you know, begin to kind of look at what 3.5 is doing, because we're not really putting ourselves in the best position to be killing them.
Understand.
Not sure what's going on here, because it looked like both 3.5 and us got stacked, so I think this is actually a stack by this random yellow.
Got infinite shielding. Procs.
Nonetheless, people are taking big damage. I probably need to be casting my Siphon right now.
In 3, 2, 1. Procs berries.
Yeah, I cast my burst heal before my Siphon, so that's you know, I've been remarking upon the lack of timely barriers, and that's an instance where I don't know if it would have saved our Arcanist support, but it would have been more useful than I think that blessing cast would have been.
Nobody's allowed to die when we've got barriers on board. Stacking 3.
That said, Stratus is remarking upon the fact that we have barriers and didn't use them there.
T by the white tree. 1 now.
Negate.
Split. Procs in.
And says you can hear the server starting to chug with like the fake ping number down there. Like,
In 3, 2, 1. Procs.
skills are beginning to be much less responsive.
Go for res.
They're really organized. There were 4 deep fishers that hit me at the same time.
Yup.
Yeah, these guys are very good. Move through them. North. Come up north. Did I get the res or not? Yeah, wait. Don't take it yet. Big healing. Help. Backline. Okay, take the res now. Take the res. Come north. North. Go north. Up the path.
I don't really know how we didn't take deaths there. Like, I had a Siphon that came in that bailed some people out, but even then it was kind of like we had a gap between our tail and the rest of us, and even myself in this video were basically just like, see ya to the people in the tail, which wasn't a very nice thing to do.
Yeah, they're going to be very coordinated, so
I
just
know,
watch
I
when they're
complain
pushing
when
in.
that happens to me.
You
If
gotta,
I'm
you
ever
gotta
at the
block
tail.
and or roll dodge. Procs in 3. Split wide. T. 1. Procs. Now collapse back into them. Stacking 3, 2, 1. Now.
So we have a preempted barrier.
Negate.
Split wide. Okay, next time we're going with
There's their stack. DBs. Siphon is casting. But I'm like, again, healer positioning. I think most of them are over here. But There does not seem to be a lot of burst healing going back into these folks with dipping health bars, and there certainly wasn't a barrier cast to help them.
Get right, get out, get out, get
I
out.
think it's my siphon that ends up getting them out of
Gonna go full alts with the Nova.
execute.
Split wide, they're pushing here. Block. Procs in 3.
No good. I know I didn't have a barrier. I don't know about people in here.
Block, block, block. Out of that.
I'm gonna say no,
Out.
given how quickly people died. Oh, okay. They actually were using an offensive negate here.
Go up the path north first.
It's
Procs
like a
in
rare
3.
use of it.
T1 procs. Pushing down the path, splitting wide. Full alts, whatever we have here in 4. 3. T1. No. Right in the middle of it. Big damage, big damage, big damage, big damage, big damage. Stay with them, stay with them. Now split. Let's go down the hill, down the hill, down the hill, down the hill.
Nope.
See if I can get a res.
There's another, like, Gustavo gets separated from the rest of the group, and nobody cared. Like, that was the only person trying to save him.
Split,
In a stupid tree.
split wide, split wide, split wide. Just go for reses. Take the res.
And, like, sometimes if somebody is, like, truly at the end of the tail, especially if it's, like, their own doing, then, like, there's a little bit of, like, not poetic justice, but kind of like, well, you probably deserve that type of scenario that goes on. But that did not describe what happened to Gustavo here. Like, that was just a situation where, like, our group was an oval. They stacked the back part of the oval. The, forward part of the oval didn't care to what was going on behind them, and, like, nobody turned around to help. So Gustavo deserved better there.
Got that. Procs in 3. T1 procs. Wide. Stacking in the middle defensively now. Defensively. Now go up the hill north. Yeah, nice. Reconnect north.
It was a nice barrier. It was
Procs
kind of
in
unclear if they were going to attack there.
T1 procs. Wide. Stacking 3. T1 now. Let's see if I can, like, I don't know, find their healers better or something. Okay.
That was dicey, but we got what we needed to get through it. Healers, at least one barrier went off. And I got my siphon off to top up people's health bar underneath it.
Remember to
Probably took about 1 second longer than would have been really comfy.
keep that remember to try to keep that distance, right? It's only
And if 3.5 were like a little bit more timed up on that with their stack, then it could have been another GG, but we had that extra second of grace period there, and it ended
sort of
up
our
working
damage
out.
that needs to collapse into the middle. I know we're moving a lot, but try to find that semicircle healers the best you can so you get pulled into those pulls.
No barrier there.
Procs in 3, 2, 1, proc.
Attempted to burst heal into
Going
it,
down
but
south.
did
Push
not
them south,
matter.
push them south. Attacking in 3, 2, 1, na.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yikes.
Look like,
Split away, split. Everyone just
Ah.
scatter.
actually, let's look at that. It kind of looked like I got procced, but it's not ultimately what was on my damage sheet. So we already have both our Arcanists are dead. This is maybe 4 of our healers. So there's maybe only 2 healers. There's a healer here casting Radiating Regen. Unclear. I don't even know what really happened there. There was like 2 stacks.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yikes. Split away, split. Everyone just
Ah.
Anyway,
scatter.
you can see there was no barrier.
Just scatter wide. Go in different directions.
They've got god tier coordination with their wardens. Facts.
There isn't much time to get out of the holes, but I think it can be done, but you have to be instant. As soon as your tune is moving at all, you got to be all over the break free and dodge roll.
This is where I'm like not having any of that as somebody who broke out of basically every stack that I was involved in and either dodge rolled or jumped or dodge rolled into a jump or a blocking jump and still died. That escaping their stacks is not really something that is going to happen unless you get a healer barriering you out of it. On some of the pulls there isn't that. Like if you're in the pull
We're
you're
just
dead.
landing. Yeah.
There are shulks like 3 on every recap within 1 second. Oh
DDs.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's all they're using against us.
Yeah. Procs in 3.
This is when our ping, like, you know, we've gone from playing from Antarctica to now we're playing on Jupiter.
1 procs. Push in now.
You'll probably see me making some real nonsensical
Pushing in, pushing in,
contextual
pushing in.
casts here because, like,
Let's
I've
hit it here.
attempted to
On the
bar
left,
swap,
on the left,
but
on the left. Push them, push them. Come up through, up through, up
the
through,
bar
up
swap
through.
didn't register, so I'm still.
All the way up, all the way up, all the way up. Big killing, big killing, big killing.
Let's watch that again. Oh my god, what the fuck? Or recap within 1 second. Oh
DDs.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's all they're using against us.
Yeah. Procs in 3, 2, 1. Procs. Push in now.
So here I'm just trying to make sure that we have basically HOTS covered. This is like an indoor area. This is a lot easier to heal from a certain perspective, simply because like people can be in far fewer locations. So
Pushing
I'm
in,
looking to definitely make sure that I have my 2 ground HOTS underneath the fighting that takes
Pushing in,
place.
pushing in.
And then this is just like mega sus right here. If they did their typical stack the stack maneuver here, then like we would be about to take big damage, especially after the fight goes in here. And so that's why I cast my siphon.
Let's hit it here. On the left, on the left, on the left.
There is a barrier that's cast. I think another one too,
Push them, push
so
them.
that's good.
Come up through, up through, up through, up through.
Big damage that just happened here. I want to say an ungrouped person just like,
All the way up, all the way up, all
yeah, there's definitely some green bars there,
the way up.
providing some plague break and VD
Big killing,
damage.
big killing, big killing.
So again, this is another one of those like more generic healer things of like, please turn around and heal the tail. Don't just have tunnel vision on Stratus even when people are like taking damage and dying behind you. Like, just because you can't see it happening on your screen doesn't mean that it's not happening. And so like I've seen this so many times in raids where like our healers will just keep trucking in one direction as like one by one people die on the tail, and then it ends up like, oh, there's only 7 of us left. And then when you're trying to like 7v12 or 7v Zerg, your life is so much harder than if you would have just turned around and burst healed people.
Get up, get up, get up, get up. Procs in 3.
So I think you see other healers here turning around to get burst heals, but like should have started that from basically the bottom of the stairs.
2, 1.
And so here I'm expecting more big damage here. I don't have a siphon though, and I'm pretty low on mag, so not really in a great position to burst heal.
1. Procs.
No barrier.
Whatever you got.
Still
Out
no
here on the top.
barrier.
Stacking them. 3, 2, 1.
Still no barrier. We get
No.
stacked. That's a chakram, not a barrier.
Gotta split away.
Chakram is
You
dead.
jump out, jump out, jump out however you can.
People are taking big damage. Still no barriers. There's my siphon, because it just becomes available.
Anyway, any direction.
Siphon prevents people from dying.
There's no more DDs.
So, without that siphon, we would have
Something
taken
got
more
me up,
deaths.
and then
Really needed a barrier.
Goose does like, oh, shoot.
Just try to work your way out of the keep however you can. Just waiting out here.
There they are.
Go towards the west tower here. West tower. Procs in 3, 2, 1. Procs come into the west tower and then damage on our tail. Reversing, reversing, reversing. Everything you got here. Here, full
We
negates
have
and
a preemptive barrier.
ults and everything on.
This is looking very sus.
In the entrance.
The
Negated.
gate.
Yeah. Siphon needs to
Negate
go
it, negate it.
down.
Everywhere, negate again, again, again. Push them, push them, push them. Now split, now split.
I don't really know. They either didn't attack there, or we did just have like quite good barriers
Split now,
that
split now,
absorbed it
split.
all.
Get out. Procs in 3, 2, 1. Proc. Stacking in 3, 2,
Don't
1
have a
now.
barrier. Don't have a barrier. Or I should say, people here no longer have a barrier. Here's my siphon, which will probably save some people, but these are some very low health bars.
Middle of the courtyard. Block, hold, block, hold, block.
Like, a siphon ticks hard.
Block.
You know, it'll tick twice per second, and you know, if it crits, you're getting like 7k heal per tick, so it can do, if you get like 2 crits, you can do like 12 to 13k healing with it per second, which sounds good until you realize that a barrier heals, quote unquote, all at once for 25k with one cast. So, like, while a siphon is good, casting a barrier is much better in terms of like, it's just a bigger, faster heal, quote unquote.
Splitting wide. Procs in 3.
Is like, you can hear me making button inputs, but like my character is just
2, 1. Procs. Let's push them with our whole faction, see if we can get them. Watch out, watch out. They're counter pushing, split to the side.
My negate.
It's another one of those scenarios where we're stacked with another group and it's dicey.
Stacking their back line here. Procs in
We did get some barriers there.
3, 2, 1. Procs in the east tower, in the east tower. Whatever we got here in 2, 1 now. No. Get it. Push them, push them, push them. It's close.
Got her demo wrong. Come on.
Nah, I'm at 1,000 ping.
Yeah.
Procs in 3,
Hey,
2,
got
1.
Jaeger.
Procs. I don't know where they are.
I think
I
that's the
can't
second
tell, yeah.
Drop
player
dead.
that
Drop
we've
dead.
managed to
Dropping.
kill in this entire
dropping out.
cycle.
All of them.
Oh man.
Wow. I can't believe
They're
they.
going for a camp. One of them died.
Let's keep following them. Watch for the counter push on the stairs.
This is
It's
again,
okay,
like, I
come
don't know
up.
how they didn't just run down
Procs
those
in 3,
stairs.
2, 1. Procs are going to hit the top of the stairs. Stacking now. Block. Ooh. Stacking 4, 3 to the north. Rapids. 2, 1.
That was pretty out of position
Come on.
right there.
Come through them. Split. My goodness.
Which again, you can hear mad button inputs, but
How is their healing so strong? Get a split. Sorry. Trying to see what's
at this point, it's almost not really
group up.
worthwhile to continue watching this because the ping is so
Yeah,
bad.
no
It's
worries,
like,
Jay.
what is even going on? Like, the whole notion of like
Yeah.
skilled play kind of
Procs
goes out the
in 3,
window.
2, 1. Procs. Push the back flag now. Stack on the back in 2, 1 now. And now split.
Ends up being
to
a
the
good
front line.
stack.
Front.
Trying to bar swap for a siphon. Nothing is happening. Cast
I'll meet you
barrier
on the front in a
because I'm
second.
still on that freaking bar.
That was a little dicey. Split wide off the front flag. They're dropping.
They're deep now.
Pushing in. Procs in 3, 2, 1. Proc.
I can't.
Call the
I
video in
can't
just a
bar.
second. They end up going up and dropping out, I think. Is dead.
In and right. All
Even
in.
like movement inputs are getting screwed up.
Procs in 3, 2, 1. Procs top of the D ring. Stacking 3, 2, 1 now. Block, hold block.
Want
Flip
to
to the
cast
side, procs
siphon,
in
want to
3,
cast siphon,
2,
want to bear.
1,
Oh my
procs.
god, yes. I'm glad that didn't call it earlier. Yeah. Say all that needs to be said about that one. So before I thought this was like some insane positional desync, but I think it's actually because this is
All the way up.
when it became clear
Procs
that
in
they were
3,
using
2,
DK
1.
chains as
Proc
their
stop
pull.
the D ring. Stacking 3, 2, 1 now. Block, hold block, hold block, hold block. Split to the sides, procs in.
So no barrier. Here is actually, I don't know. Is that what the DK chains animation looks like? Because otherwise that looks an awful lot like the Rush of Agony animation. In which case that would be some insane positional desync because I'm like 25 meters away from wherever this pull is originating from, get pulled across the entire grate.
3, 2,
Like into the random fear from over here, which again is like, what even is
1.
this?
Proc.
What the fuck?
Go for the res on the top here. I'm stacking them here defensively. Go for the res. Go
Suffice
for
to
the res
say,
at the
there were no
top.
barriers
The res,
there.
they're pushing. Get off, 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 off. Split, split, split. On the other side of that wall. Go up through the choke. Procs in 3, 2, 1. Procs. Around our right hand side. Go around these rocks. Stacking in 3, 2, 1. Now.
Can see people teleporting. That's always a great sign.
Splitting now. Procs in 3, 2, 1. Procs. Stacking in 3, 2, 1 now. And let's go north, go towards the keep, I think res at the keep.
It's like another. My siphon lasted a couple seconds into that attack, but as far as I can tell, there weren't any barriers afterward.
Move towards the keep so people can reconnect. Go north, go north. Watch the tail. Procs in 3, 2, 1. Procs. Stacking 3, 2, 1 now. Defensively. Res and come back.
Sorry, I just can't even with that.
Procs in 3, 2,
Help!
1.
Help!
You could hear me trying to
They
break
got
free
me.
for like 5 seconds and
They got
absolutely nothing was
Res,
happening.
res, res,
Back to
quickly.
the
You can see me trying to res there and
damn keep, but they got me.
it being
Yeah,
like you
feel
can't do
them
this action while
scattered
dead.
here.
It's like,
Like,
what
even
kind of
that one.
nonsense.
I hit B Smith with all our stuff and his health bar like moved like 1k health.
Probably because the server didn't even know that B Smith was in the hitbox. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna leave that there because the rest of this is kind of meaningless with 999 paying like kind of who cares. Nobody's really doing what they're intending to be doing at that point. But yeah, basically like this draws into fairly sharp relief kind of the next steps that as healers we need to be taking in order to contend with these like top tier groups. When we're fighting against Zergs, things like this don't really matter. Like you can bury your own rotation, and generally speaking we're taking a sort of a constant amount of damage as we fight against a Zerg, so you're going to be absorbing something with your barrier no matter what. But against these top tier groups, that's not the case. We're in no danger for long periods of time, and then for very short periods of time we are in all the danger, and we need those barriers available and our healers to react when we do end up in those moments. So yeah, just we can practice doing that, but even as we play against Zergs, which presumably we won't be fighting 3.5 in our Friday's raid or something, really try to focus on that, like concretely, when are we in danger, when are we not in danger, and then to try to like get yourself into the mentality of looking at the flow of the fights, understanding the dynamics that are going on, and trying to like predict or anticipate when moments of big danger are likely to arise, and then kind of note to yourself, do I have my barrier available? If this actually was like a ball group bomb, would I be letting down the team by not having my barrier available or not being fast enough to cast my barrier? Things like that. But Anyway, hopefully this was useful, and hopefully we'll also see 3.5 and other good groups in Blackreach, because it's a lot of fun when they're there, and it will always give us new things to improve upon when we fight them. So anyway, this is getting long now, and I'll leave it there. Okay, thanks.